It's a beautiful day for some DSA, and welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. Today we've got a little bit of a different video for you guys. I put on my Discord an Ask Cozy channel, and I received awesome feedback both from that channel, and also I got some direct messages of some great questions because I heard from the community that some of you guys wanted to know a little bit more about Cozy Gamer and what I do outside of DSA, and also some specific DSA questions. Now, before we start today's video, I want to let you guys know we've got some awesome content coming this week and next week. On Wednesday, I'll be dropping a priority killing guide. Yes, you heard it right. Whether it's Kingdom, Frozen, or Oceanic, what characters do you want to focus and kill first and make sure you get rid of them so you have the best chance for success? This is one of my most anticipated videos, and if you guys are excited about it, leave a like on the video and leave something in the comments below. I'll also be releasing a highly requested video this week, the Gamma and Beta Priority Guide. So we're going to be looking at all of the characters in DSA and all of the abilities in DSA, and I'm going to say what are the best bang for your buck Gamma and Beta upgrades. We're so scarce on the resource, so we'll be focusing on what moves are the best for which characters to get the most out of the character, and I'm personally super excited for that one. All right, let's jump right into the mailbag video today. Ask Cozy, episode 1. If you guys like this video series enough, I'll be sure to do an episode 2 and so on. You guys can go ahead and drop your questions in the Ask Cozy channel, and I'll grab them from time to time and do them as we can. All right, let's hop on to the first question coming from Drakely on the Discord, and he asked me, why choose the name Cozy Gamer? Now, this is probably the best question to start out with. Why do I call myself Cozy Gamer? Well, it's easy. A spoiler alert from some of the other questions later down the line. I work in the hospitality industry when I am not content creating. So in my whole life as my career, it has been my job to make people feel as comfortable as possible and really create a home away from home. And well, that, and I just love the word cozy. I think it encapsulates both of those trains of thought. And I personally wanted to content create for a very long time. I played games like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Overwatch, and so many other games, and I never got around to following my dream of content creating. And one day, maybe, I would love to full-time content create. So during the craziness of COVID, I wanted to make a community where people felt safe, they had a ton of fun, and they also always felt comfortable and ready to hang out and have a good time. So that's Cozy Gamer, the Cozy Club in a nutshell. Question number 2 comes from Nate Dilla. What is the most underrated Disney character that I want to see in Disney Sorcerers Arena? And honestly, I think this one's pretty easy for me. I don't know if he's underrated enough or not, but Li Shang would be an awesome addition. I don't see a lot of people talk about him. Would absolutely love to have a Mulan crew entirely in the game, like a squad of 5, and Li Shang would be a great complement to Mulan. I think would be a great compliment to DSA. Question number 3, the Lion Catlo asks, what is my favorite character to play within Disney Sorcerers Arena? And honestly, I know they just came out, so it seems like I might be giving a little more favor towards them, but without a doubt, it's going to be Captain Gantu. Captain Gantu is just an absolute blast to use, no matter if it's with the Oceanics or not. He can kind of carry teams all by himself, does ridiculous damage, inflicts slow, and builds up over time. He's got one of the most unique kits in the game and reminds me of that hybrid tank that we used to see in RPGs. Just absolutely have love for Papa Gantu. For the next question, Jeannie Wished asked, what are my top favorite movies, TV shows, and video games outside of DSA? Starting with video games, I think it's pretty easy. I love anything Nintendo-wise, so Breath of the Wild, Zelda series are incredible. Love Overwatch, and then I have a big heart for big Rome sandbox RPGs like Skyrim and Fallout. Those are just the absolute best series that I can get and plug in and play any of those for days on end. For the top 3 movies, I'll try to keep the genres a little bit separate, but the first one is easy for me, no question. Star Wars. Any Star Wars at all, I'm gonna love. Loved the originals. The prequels had their spot and they're growing on me more and more. And then the sequels have just done a tremendous job wrapping the whole story together. Big Star Wars nerd. As you guys can see from my early videos, you can go look back. I had a whole shelf of Star Wars stuff. Big Star Wars guy here and excited to get back to Disneyland and Star Wars Land. And for the last part of this question, what are my top 3 TV shows? And this one honestly is not hard at all. Parks and Rec, Office, and then if I were to pick a third, I think Suits is great. For a close 4th place finish, Wayward Pine Season 1. If you haven't, go check them out. Let me know in the comments below as well. What are your favorite TV shows, movies, and video games? On to the next question. Ethan R. Carey asked, if I was a DSA developer and I was going to bring a character into Disney Sorcerers Arena, what would I bring in? And honestly, yes, Hercules. We've got some obvious ones that I would love to bring in, but a character that I think is needed for a faction boost and something I would love to see in general is my man Mufasa. I think Mufasa would be an awesome wild leader. If I were to build a kit for him, I think he could bring the wild faction all together and build off of what they already have. They already have so much assist mechanics and defense mechanics going for them. So I would love to see something that brings them all together in a defense lead that carries and thrives on assist. The Mufasa is going to get my vote. Blue, you heard me. Let's see Mufasa. So Willis and Neens asked, after COVID ends, what city/country do I want to visit most? I appreciate the question. I'm a big guy for travel. I would have to say at the top of my head right now, Ireland is at the top of my list. Would love to go see Ireland. Also Australia. It's a lot like San Diego, which is where I live. That's just a bonus question there. But Australia has a lot of locations that pique my interest and activities that I would love to see and check off the bucket list. Quasimodo Zero asked, what is the upgrade priority for the Oceanic squad? And I'll save time on this. I'll do this on a future Fast Pass video or Twitch stream, but let me just make it quick. Starting with my man Maui here, kind of a big deal. Is probably the best ability to get up next. If you don't get stun on them, you're gonna be landing offense down, which is just an incredible ability all around. Or you can't go wrong with his lead if you have the rest of the Oceanics ready to go. For Captain Gantu, very easy. Abomination level 2. Get that chance to inflict slow on the enemies. Absolutely separates him for the rest of the pack. For Bubbles, get that passive. Getting that turn meter as he hits the other Oceanics is absolutely ridiculous. Moana, I would go for her basic as you get a nice 75% up on the damage, which is different than the other basic upgrades that you see within DSA, and she can smack that paddle. Pretty crazy. If not that, I would go for the crashing wave ability as it adds extra damage per Oceanic teammates. Something great to clean up all the mess out there of enemies, and just it can surprisingly hit ridiculously hard. And lastly, if we're looking at Stitch for that 5th spot, I would say his basic is great. He starts doubling up on the arms whenever you upgrade that basic. Or Stop Touching Me, he gains turn meter with the more Lilo and Stitch teammates. If you're rocking Gantu and Bubbles, go with Stop Touching Me, which you probably should be rocking those two if you unlock Stitch in the first place. Mortog 9050 has 2 questions for me. The first one is, what is the most overrated character in DSA? And you know what? A lot of the characters that are rated very high are for a reason. They all do very well. There's characters that are falling like Mordu. So I would say right now, Mordu is probably not the best investment because with each meta that comes out, he's going down a little bit more. And a less overrated character that I just personally don't see a lot of value in right now is Anger. Every time I run into Anger at the arena, he's really no problem for me. Now for the second question, a little bit harder. He says, what meta character right now is probably going to fall off the quickest? And you know, this is not the easiest question to answer because I don't want to make any character now seem like they're not worth going for. But at the top of my head, I would have to say Gizmo or Kristoff. I think that Kristoff's time is coming to an end. I think that eventually we're going to have a character that comes in, stops the frozen meta, which starts with Kristoff, and strip helpful effects, which is really the whole thing that lies in Kristoff's kit. And once you can get past him and put a helpful immunity on him, Kristoff is not going to do much. He does self-cleanse, so it's going to be curious how we exactly get around that taunt. But eventually, once we can, I think Kristoff will be falling off the fastest. Now, Brodo Swaggins, I love this question. He says, as someone who is in the hospitality industry and a college graduate, what is your best advice for climbing the ladder and the best path for success? Now, I started in the hospitality industry as young as I possibly could. I was a busboy when I started out, and I climbed the ranks throughout the food and beverage industry. I noticed quickly enough that I wanted to get out of the food and beverage industry. Nothing against anyone in that industry, just wasn't the right fit for me. And I wanted to grow my path the fastest. And that was going to be going through the front desk, as that's the heartbeat of the hotel. You learn everything you need to know there. So I did time at the front desk. But if you want to climb in the hotel industry, get yourself in as many different industries as possible within it. Whether it's doing housekeeping for a little bit, front desk, maintenance, whatever it might be, learn as much as possible. And that's going to help you understand what people do in their roles. And within a hotel, you need every single person and department doing their job. And so being able to understand what all that means is a huge advantageous opportunity for you. But for some basic advice, come early, leave late. Don't just go by your job's description, go that extra mile, be trustworthy, be on time, and overall just be a dependable employee that goes that extra mile. All right, so Pamacake is asking, what Disney characters do I want to see in DSA that are not already within the game. I can't say Hercules or Beauty and the Beast, as we have Gaston and Hades. So something of a franchise that we don't have, probably going to be Finding Nemo. I think Bruce would be an awesome addition to the game. Now, whether he would be a hero or a villain, I'll let you decide, as he doesn't want to go after the blood. It's just in his nature. If not, Cars would be something cool to see. There's so many franchises they could go down with. And once Pixar and Disney is done, now I don't think it's going to happen, but would love to see Star Wars and Marvel. Even if we just had Luke and Vader and Iron Man and the Avengers, just the base core, that'd be super cool. Again, I think their idea right now is to concentrate on Pixar and main Disney movies. But again, I'm getting asked what I would like to see. It'd easily be Star Wars and Marvel. Gus Higgins, simple question. What is my favorite color? Cobalt blue or the 80s neon behind me? Bearded Dadbod asks... Bearded Dadbod. All right, respect the name. He asks, what is my favorite Disney ride? And this is an easy answer. Every single time I go up to Anaheim, go to Disneyland, there's one ride I'm always going on first, and that is Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if it's the nostalgia factor or what it is about it, but I absolutely love the journey and the movie tale that it takes you on. Now, Rise of the Resistance is going to be a strong contender to take over that because obviously it just looks bonkers. Xantophil, sorry if I'm botching the name, says, where do I see the Cozy Club in a year? And I love this. And honestly, I just want to see this community grow more and more. There's another question on here that asks if I'm ever going to play games outside of DSA. And yes, the answer is obviously yes. Disney Sorcerers Arena is an amazing game, and I plan on covering it, bringing strategy guides and videos for a long time to come, but I do have passion and love for other games. Now, these are mainly going to be on my Twitch stream, but I would love to play different Nintendo games or party games with my viewers, no matter if it's something like Mario Kart altogether, Super Smash, I don't know. I just think Nintendo has a great plethora of games for that. Now, I love this question. I'm very curious to see this in the comments. Would you guys like to see me cover other games in the future? Whether that's Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Nintendo games on Twitch, let me know in the comments below if you would stop by and watch. Would love to see the feedback on that. A left-handed asks, what characters in Disney Sorcerers Arena is going to last a long time? And that honestly is not too difficult to one. It's the support heroes in the game right now. We've got Hero, which is an incredible character that's going to last throughout the metas, as his kit is just ridiculous. Anna should last throughout the metas as well, as she pumps up characters around her. So all these characters, they're gonna be helping the characters around them, not just themselves. And lastly, I think Barley is gonna last a long time. I think Barley does a lot of great things that are often overlooked. He can grant critical power up, guaranteed crit. He can remove taunt. He calls assist. All these things are going to be needed in DSA for a long time to come. So those are my 3 characters off the top of my head that I think are going to last a while. So Sabukin asks, if I could take away something from DSA and add something from DSA, what would it be? I love this question. I would say if I could add something to DSA, would love to see a raid within this game. You guys know how much I'm looking forward to something like that. I think it's going to breathe an entirely breath of fresh air to the game. That or a new PvP ladder system would be awesome. Now, if I could take something away from the game, the beta crunch. No, really, the beta runes in this game, we need to see more of them. We can't test out these characters fully without it, and I would love for them to introduce some type of game mode, some type of event that we can get more and more beta runes from. If not beta runes, I would say that level 20 of Club Dungeon eventually needs to change, or at least get reworked to a way that we don't have to try to find characters that are just bad enough to not beat it, but good enough to get to wave 3. It's a weird thing in general, something that I would like to see get out of the game, or they just do an endless mode, or they just make it where it's you get all the currency for the dailies, whatever it might be. Hopefully they fix up Club Dungeon. John, who asks, what are my opinion on turn limits in matches? And honestly, never thought about this question before. I don't mind the turn limits, either that or a timer. You got to have one or the other, especially in live PvP, where they could just last forever. However, I think that as we approach this evasion meta, I think it's going to be a little bit harder with the shields and the evasion, so they're going to have to tweak something or come out with a kit or an ability that speeds up getting through those shields and getting through those evasions faster. I think we are headed to a meta that's getting closer and closer to timeouts, so hopefully we can find characters or abilities that can get rid of that, as it's obviously a lose-lose situation when both people lose, but I do like how they have the battle set up for the most part. Papa asks, how do you think we'll see the Hercules Muses put in incorporated into the game? Love this question. Obviously, big Hercules fan. I think it's going to be probably the biggest character drop we'll ever get within Disney Sorcerers Arena. I would say I can see them as a spell, Absolutely. Maybe something like 0 to hero, like you're the weakest character on the board, or someone with not a lot of health gets maxed health and full buffs, or something crazy, going from that worst 0 all the way up to hero and taking out the enemy team. I don't know. Just a thought. Captain Jack Sparrow 23 asks, Cozy, what are your favorite hobbies? Well, I love to surf. I'm in sunny San Diego, so I try to get to the beach as much as possible. If I'm not on the water there, I love to go boating, and being out on the water on a boat, always a fun time, something I like to do on each and every weekend. And if not those two, hiking is just the most beautiful thing that you could possibly do in California. So many beautiful hikes here in San Diego, and if you guys want some recommendations and you live in SoCal, let me know. Would love to hit you up with a list. Now, Shooty Yo Face, one of a great persons in the Cozy Club and a great mod for my Twitch channel, he asked me, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? And this is how we're going to end the video, I guess. In sync all the way, baby. So Cozy Club, I want to thank you so much for coming by at that first episode of Ask Cozy. Again, these aren't going to be around all the time, but from time to time, would love to get this out to you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of video and if this is something you want to keep seeing a series of down the line. Again, if you want to ask me questions, feel free to go in my Discord to the Ask Cozy channel, put them in there as I will grab them, or you can just private message me directly as I still have those open. Big videos coming later this week, so get ready for those on probably Wednesday and Friday. If not, I will see you in the Twitch stream. And until then, my friends, stay cozy.